So guys, this is just a little follow-on from the Myo-fascia work. So this is like a good add-on after the Myo-fascia for the glutes and calves and hips. So we're going to do a little bit of kind of 25-minute session of stretching out of glutes and calves. So we're going to begin by coming onto our backs. And we're just going to take a few moments here, as always. So we can just relax the arms and the legs. We can bring the soles of the feet together, knees flopped out to the side. Have that little rock from side to side. And we just take those few moments here. So we're just going to slowly bring that awareness inwards. So we just become aware of the breath, aware of the body. We can bring that breath and the awareness into the body. Again, just breathing from the top of the head, right down into the fingers, the toes. And again, as you exhale, just taking those few moments, just relax the body. Just let go of any areas of tension, tightness, discomfort in the body. And then whenever you're ready, we're just going to slowly bring a little bit of gentle movement into the body. Stretching out. And just relaxing the arms back down that side. So we're going to begin by bringing our knees up onto our chest. We're going to have that little rock out of the lower back here. So we can just circle those knees in one direction. And then we take those knees in the opposite direction. And then we're just going to begin by dropping the feet onto the floor. So we're going to start by drawing our left thigh in towards the belly. We're going to do a little bit of psoas release here on that left side and the right side. So we're going to squeeze squeeze the left thigh in towards the belly. At the same time as we squeeze the thigh towards the belly, we're going to get that right heel and we're going to start to slide that right leg away from us. And then we're going to kind of press through the right heel, squeeze the left thigh towards the belly. And then we're going to release. And again, a couple more rounds. Again, squeezing the left thigh in towards the belly as we exhale, slowly sliding that right leg away from us. Pressing through the heel, pulling the toes towards us to keep that left knee squeezed towards the belly. And then again, we can release. And again, one more round. And then we're going to come into that little figure 4 position here on the left side. So we're going to set that left foot over onto that right knee. We're going to start with that very gentle little hip flossing here. So again, that drawing the left knee in, taking the left knee away. So again, as most of you who come to my classes know, this is one of my favourite stretches. And then the next time we take that left knee away from us, we're just going to bring our left hand, then we're just going to gently press that leg away. We're just going to hold there for a few breaths. And again, psoas at the back of the body. If you find our lower back starts to tighten, just soften it a little. And then we can just release. And then we can slowly lift those legs up towards us. Again, we might just walk that left foot a little bit closer in, lifting the legs up. Not left foot, right foot, sorry. We might bring that left foot onto a block. So again, it lifts the legs in towards us. Or again, we might thread that left hand between the legs, take the right arm around the outside edge, and maybe clasp the back of the right thigh. Or again, you can use your band if you've got a band. And again, we can just hold here. This feels good. It is that little bit of play of movement. Or again, you might bring those legs in towards you and squeeze, then try and squeeze the legs in. Release. We can also stretch our right leg up towards the ceiling. Again, we chuck a little bit of calf in here. So again, press through the heel, pull the toes towards us. And again, we can hang out here, a little bit of hamstring and calf. I always like to rock a little bit from side to side in this one. I don't think it really has any benefits. I just like it. And then we're just going to slowly bring that right foot back down onto the floor. We're going to again come into that little twist here. So we can take the arms out to shoulder level, and then we're just going to drop those legs over towards that right side. So we're trying to bring either those left toes down onto the floor, or again, if you prefer, you can bring it onto a block. That feels better. And again, you can keep the feet as they are. You can sometimes try and wiggle your kind of, so again, on this side, it would be the right heel up towards the right bum cheek. So again, you get a little bit of quad stretch. Again, go gently with this one because it can cause cramping. And then again, we can slowly come back up. And then the final couple of ones we can do here, we're going to play around a little bit more into the hips. So we're going to play around a little bit with that half happy baby. Actually, no, we're not going to go there. We're going to play around with half lotus first to begin with. So you're going to get your left foot and you're just going to slide it as far down that right thigh as feels comfortable. So you might bring it just a couple of inches down, you might bring it more towards the mid. And if you're comfortable in half lotus, you can bring it to so the heel towards the opposite hip. And again, you can just stay here. You can engage the foot a little bit, especially if that stops that kind of bit of stretch through the ankle. Or you can even also come into like a kind of like squeezing the legs in towards you here. But again, only if that feels okay. Again, it might just be enough to kind of inch that right heel a little bit closer in. I'm quite comfortable in half lotus, so this isn't a position that I find particularly hard work. So, but just go gently, especially with the knees. You don't put any pressure with that knee joint, which is what sometimes happens with the lotus positions. Or any positions for the hips, actually. If the hips are particularly tight, sometimes we get a little bit in the knees. And then we can just release. And then we can now come into that half happy baby. So we're going to get that left foot. We're going to try and take the sole of the left foot up towards the ceiling. And we're going to try and take that left knee towards our left armpit. So again, you might hold onto your lower leg. You might hold on to the ankle. You might use a band here if that feels better. You might, again, kind of hold on to the inside and the outside of the foot. And then again, just try to gently draw that kind of left knee towards the left armpit, as if you're trying to bring the outside of the left thigh towards the outside of the chest. And again, you can play around a little bit with movement. It feels good. Again, you can just hang out there. And again, you can play around also a little bit with the opposite leg. So you can almost come into like a lizard position here. So like a kind of a reclined lizard. So if you stretch your right leg out, obviously it's a very similar position to what lizard pose is. And then again, we can gently release. We can draw that left knee into the chest, squeeze that left knee in there for a couple of breaths. And then again, we can swap sides. So again, we can start to bring that right knee into the chest. And then again, we're going to use that little kind of psoas release to begin with. So again, we're going to squeeze that right knee in. Same time we squeeze the right knee in, we're going to slowly slide the left leg away from us. We're going to press through the left heel, pull those left toes towards us, and keep that right thigh squeezed in. And then we're going to release. And again, a couple more rounds. And again, when we've done 3 rounds of them, we're going to bring that left leg back in. Then we're going to come into that little figure of 4 position. So again, we're going to place that right ankle up on that left knee. We can start with that little bit of very passive hip flossing here. So again, gently drawing the knee in, taking the knee away. Then the next time we take that knee away, we can gently press the hand in towards that thigh. And then again, we can just release. And then again, we can gently either walk that left foot a little bit closer in, bring it onto a block, or again, lift those legs up towards us, thread the right hand between the legs, take the left arm around the outside edge, grab behind the back of that left calf. And again, if it's that little playing around movement, you can use a band if that feels better. You can squeeze those legs in if there's a little bit of movement there. You can again also take it a little bit into that calf stretch. Again, you can stretch that left leg up towards you and press through the heel. You pull the toes towards you. And again, you can have a little rock from side to side if you want to. And then again, you can slowly release. So again, we can come into that little twist now. So again, we can drop the arms out to shoulder level, take those legs over towards that left side, sorry. And again, we can leave the legs as they are. We can support the right leg on a block if that feels better, the right foot on a block. You can play around a little bit with, again, quad stretch on the opposite side. You can hold on to the foot, but you can just leave it more as a twist, whatever feels good here. And then again, we can slowly come back to center. And then we can come into that half lotus position here. So again, we can keep that left leg, sorry, we can keep the left leg as it is. We can slide maybe that right foot just a little bit down that left thigh, or you might bring it a little bit further down. Again, you can engage the foot. So if you kind of pull those right toes towards you, press through the heels. Again, it kind of supports the knee. It makes the lower leg very rigid. So it stops that bend in the ankle a little bit in the knee. And do the same in pigeon pose as well. And again, you can just leave the legs here. Again, I don't have as much flexibility on this side as I do on my left. So I can't lift the legs up towards me like a kind of figure of 4 position. I have to just come up a little bit onto my toes and squeeze the legs in towards me. That's enough on this side. And then again, commence. And then again, that half happy baby. So again, we can bring that right foot up towards soothing. And again, we might hold on to the ankle, the foot, inside, outside. And then again, we just try and bring that knee towards the armpit. Or again, the outside of the thigh towards the outside, inside the thigh towards the outside of the chest. And again, whatever feels comfortable here. And again, you can keep the opposite foot on the floor. You can play around with that kind of reclining lizard position. This is not a pose I used to absolutely really dislike happy baby pose. I remember the first time I did it in a yoga workshop. I really didn't like it. It's been very, very tight around my hips. And then again, we can slowly release. We can squeeze that right thigh towards our belly. And then we can bring both legs up. We can have that little circling there of the knees. So again, we take those knees in one direction. And then again, the opposite direction. And then we can squeeze the knees in, have a little rock out the lower back, and then rock up into seated. So now we're going to spin over. I'm going to stretch a little bit more into the glutes. So we're going to do deer pose. So again, this can be quite a strong stretch, and not everybody's knees are particularly happy with this pose. So deer pose is that one where we have our kind of legs in 90-90 position. And again, I'm going to start with my left leg in front, my right leg behind, so I'm going to get more of the glute stretch on the left side to begin with. Again, you can do this if your knee is not comfortable with that rotation. You can do it with the leg stretched out. Again, this is more of a hamstring stretch. So if you are doing it with that way, you might want to bring a block or a rolled up blanket or something underneath that right knee. Because again, when you start to lean forwards, it will be quite an intense hamstring stretch. Or if you've got tight hamstrings like me, it will be. And again, you might have your legs away from the body, might be in towards the body. So all we're going to start to do here is we're going to start to fold. And we're just going to fold to whatever position feels comfortable. So we might fold towards the front knee, between the knees, towards the back knee. You might just come onto your hands. You might come onto your elbows. You might drop your forehead here down onto a block or onto the floor. Or onto a bolster, whatever feels comfortable. We are going to hang out here for a few breaths. And then we can slowly come back up. And then we just go into swap sides. Again, we can bring that right leg in front, that left leg is behind. So again, those legs are in that 90-90 position. Again, you can have the left leg stretched out as you fold forward, which again would be more of a hamstring stretch. And then again, the same thing here. We can just slowly start to fold. And again, we might fold towards front knee, between the knees, towards the back knee. Again, I find this is one of the poses that really shows up my imbalances in my right and my left. So again, I find it's much more intense on this side. And then we can slowly come back up. And then we can bring both legs out and just keep those legs a little bit flutter. So for the next couple of ones here, we're going to play around a little bit with kind of sorry, we're going to play around a little bit with the shoelace pulses, that's it. So you might want to roll up the edge of the mat a little bit for these and just slightly perch on the mat. And just tilts the pelvis a little bit further forward. So we're going to get our left leg and we're just going to gently kind of maybe bring our left foot into our right hand and kind of the left knee into that left elbow. And we're just going to give that little bit of locking out here. And then we're going to take that leg over. So this is where we come into our shoelace pose. So maybe we're in a tight shoelace, or maybe our left knee stacked on top of our right, or maybe we're more in like a figure of four position. And then all we're going to start to do here is, again, we're just going to fold. We're going to come to that point where something stops us. So again, it might be the belly hitting the thigh, it might just be tightness in the glutes, tightness in the lower back. But we're going to come to that point where something stops us, and we're just going to hang out here. And again, we can take it into a little bit of a calf and also maybe a little bit of a sciatic nerve stretch. So if you pull your kind of right toes up towards you and press through your left heel, pull your right toes up towards you and press through your right heel, you might get a little bit of sciatic nerve stretch and also a bit of a calf stretch there. And then again, we can slowly lift. Now we can now take it into a bit of a twist. So we've got a few variations of twists we can do here now. So we can either, so we're going to have the left knee up towards the ceiling and the left foot is kind of pressing down onto the floor on the outside of that right knee. You can have your right leg stretched out, or you can do it with your right leg on the mat. So it's almost like your kind of left bum cheek is sitting on that kind of right heel. But again, you want your knee up towards the ceiling. So if you are doing it with that right leg bent, making sure you're kind of your knees up towards the ceiling, not flared a little bit out to the side. I again find this is a slightly stronger glute piriformis stretch when my leg is bent. But again, you can have the right leg straight. So you're going to gently bring your kind of left hand behind you, whichever position you're in. I always roll my left shoulder blade back and down, so I'm quite tight through the front here. You use that left hand to also keep the back level. And then you can bring your right arm up as you inhale. You can exhale, twist towards that left side. You can either hook your kind of elbow in front of the knee, or you can hook the knee in. You take that gaze over the back shoulder. Or again, you might have that leg straight. You do the same pose, the same twist, slightly different variation. And then we're going to release. And then we're going to do all that on the opposite side now. So again, we can come into that little shoelace pose. So again, we can bring our kind of right foot into that left hand. Have a little rock out there of the hip. We can step that leg over. So again, we might have that kind of loose shoelace or tight shoelace. And then again, we can slowly fold forward. And again, we come to that point where something stops us. And again, you can engage that foot. So again, you can pull those left toes towards you, press through that left heel. And then we can slowly lift up. And then finally that little twist. So again, you can just bring that right foot onto the floor on the outside of that left knee. And again, the knee is facing up towards Susan, that right knee. Again, you can have your left leg stretched out, or again, you can have it bend. So you're kind of perched on your heel. Again, whichever one you prefer. You can bring that right hand behind you this time. You roll the right shoulder blade back down. You can again have that left leg straight, or again bend, whichever one you prefer. And then again, you can bring that left arm up as you inhale. You can exhale, twist towards the right side. You can hook that kind of elbow in front of the knee, or you can hook the knee in. Then you take that gaze over the back shoulder. And then we can come back to center. And then we can stretch those legs out. Give those legs a little bit of a lift. And then you're just going to slowly come round onto your backs. And you're just going to take a few moments here to relax. So again, you're just going to come onto your back. You're going to come into any relaxing position here. You might want to hug the knees in, have a little rock out for a couple of moments. You want to stretch your legs up to the ceiling. You might want to have a little twist from side to side. So again, whatever feels good here. To finish off your practice. And then just relaxing. And just letting go. Just taking a few breaths here. Shifting the awareness inwards, the awareness to the body, awareness to the breath, deepening of the breath. And again, you can bring your breath into the body. So again, just breathe in from the top of the head right down into the fingers, the toes. And again, as you exhale, just that softening, relaxing, releasing, letting go on the exhalation. So, thank you very